So hopefully you guys can hear this now. Test, test, test. Well, there it is right here. Like you can see the microphone's working now, so you're good to go. As long as I don't care about the delay. As long as you guys can hear everything. All right, I think you're ready to get to go. Sorry about that.
Okay, right. Sorry.
So hopefully you guys can hear this now. Test, test.
All right, sorry about that. We're now being recorded, okay? So we're going to start this again. We need to get the Unity version that is installed on your machines working in front of you. So we're going to walk through that step right now. Now, first thing we're going to do here, first thing I need to tell you, okay, there are two important apps that we have to worry about here, okay? On your desktop, I don't know where your desktop is, on your desktop, you will see an Oculus app and a Unity Hub app. Those are the two that you want to launch from. Don't be tempted to go to the search engine. Don't be tempted to go type out Oculus. No, you got to click those icons because there's a batch file that is associated with those. You need to run those, okay? So this obviously looks different, but in your case, you are going to see something here that looks like this called Unity Hub, okay? That right there. Double click on that, okay? Do not click on anything that appears when it starts, okay? What is very likely going to happen is you're going to get probably a box that says sign up. Is that correct? Okay, we're going to try this. This started failing because too many people signed up, okay? But what we have done is we've created a generic account for everybody, and that is this one here. Let's try it. I don't think it's going to work, and if it doesn't work, your second option is to create your own account. Okay.
Actually, what I would probably suggest is whoever's the person with the headset is the only person who should sign in.
Right.
And that should keep it down at a minimum because that account will work.
Yeah.
It was all accounts that weren't working.
Yeah. Okay. So the one person in your group, you're going to be Mr. Headset Person or Mrs. Headset Person. Doesn't matter. Okay. That little thing that you see down here with the username computerstudies@georgiancollege.ca with the password VRHack. This is going to be your credentials for both Unity and Meta, hopefully, okay? So the one person in your group who is going to try and log into Unity, please try with these credentials, okay? We're going to try it. If it doesn't work, our backup is that you're going to create a new account. Okay, great. Worked? Yes?
I'm just going to make an account. I already have an account.
Yes.
Let's limit this to one per group.
We're doing that already. Okay? Not everybody, one person per group. Okay? Do you want to start distributing headsets? Let's get some headsets going. So the other person that is not installing stuff, one person from your group go grab a headset. Okay? So one person from your group, whoever is not installing stuff, come grab a headset. Okay? Everyone okay? Any issues? No? Everyone logged into this okay? The people, the individual. Hold on. We got to sign them up. Sign them up.
No, don't take those ones. You have to come here.
Go to him.
Yeah.
Go around the other side. Go to the edge. Go to the edge. Go to the other side. Okay? So, let's move on then, okay? If everyone was successful in logging in with this, excellent. Good job, okay? From that, you're going to get prompted to install a particular version, 2021. Do not do that, okay? Everyone sees that. You'll see a little window. It says install 2021. It's missing, yada. No. In the bottom right corner, you'll see skip installation. So click on that, okay? You got that too? Oh, you're doing something different. That's not you.
Oh, no. No one from his group is from Georgia.
No one from Georgia?
Yeah.
What kind of info are you taking?
We have their name, and no one from his group would have either.
Let me ask Ross. Hey, Ross, you have a full group of non-Georgia students.
Oh, I have passwords.
No. Just sign up the headsets.
Yeah, what information should they give me?
Driver's license.
There you go. Okay, so while we sort that out,
That's an ID.
everyone else
Take a picture of
You'll
it.
probably Great.
You
Okay.
guys have anyone?
If you click on install on the left side,
Well, no, she's a different group. What we need to do, okay, so write your name and
I don't like this. All right. What we need to do is we need to go to preferences. So let me show you where that is located so everyone can see it. Okay? This project looks very different, but it's almost the same. Where I want everyone to go is this little gear that you see up here. Okay, right there beside the word projects or installs, whichever one. Okay? We're going to click on that little gear. It's your preferences. Okay? From there, what we need to do is we need to point to where the installs are located on the computer. Okay? This is done by selecting installs, and you'll see these two file locations, installs and downloads. All right? We're going to change both of them to the exact same thing. Okay? And what we're changing it to is this. Okay? C Unity Hub downloads. Okay? So for both of those entries, to C Unity Hub and download. Sorry, buddy. Okay? Everyone on board with that?
just to be clear, you can still do this step if you're not the designated headset owner.
Yes.
You can all be following along with Unity. You can learn Unity irrespective of virtual reality development. So please put your hands up if you do not locate your installed well.
Yeah. Everyone can follow along in Unity, but only one person is going to be the headset person. All the headsets are distributed? Oh, good. Okay. All right. So, again, you are going to take that folder path, and you are going to place it in both. Now, this is a laptop. This is not one of the desktops, so it's different. Don't ignore this. For all of you, you're going to use that file path that was there, this one, okay? Once that is done, one thing you can do, I generally like to restart Hub really quickly. Okay, so maybe let's try that here, just in your Hub. Once you change both of them, close out of everything, okay, and start it back up, okay, and just load it back up. What you should see now that you're loading it back up is if you go to installs, you will see a version 2022.2.8F1. You guys see that when you load back in? Good. So you have to change those paths to what was up there. Okay, I'll put this back up here. Okay, for those of you changing the paths. But again, if you were successful in doing this, if you click on install, it'll be 2022.2.8F1. Okay. You have to change it to that. Click on it, change it. Click on it and type it in with your keyboard. Okay? Okay, cool. So, again, this is being recorded, so if you misstep somewhere, don't worry, you can come back to this, okay? Cool. Congratulations, you've installed Unity. We're ready to go. The first thing we want to do now is get these projects on our machine, okay? The projects are actually located right here on your machine as well, okay? Very quickly, if any of you are logging in with a laptop or you want a backup, it is also hosted on the Georgian College GitHub. It is not georgiancollege.ca/VRHack, it's just georgiancollege/VRHack. I don't know why I did that either, okay? So there are two places where you can get the project that we're going to be looking at today, okay? Also, it's going to be on Discord if you have the link. Now, let's talk about how do we get the project from your machine. That one there, okay? This is easier than what we just did. When you're in Unity Hub, go to Projects on the left side. Okay, go to Projects. And what we want to do is we want to open the project. So you go and click Open. From here, you want to navigate to that file path. I'll bring it up here again just so everyone can see. You want to type in up here the file path, C Unity Hub Projects. Okay. Once you are there, you will likely see two folders. You might see just one, but probably two. Okay. The one that we're going to focus on in this workshop is the first one. The second one is also useful to have on your machine. Okay. So what I would recommend is when you navigate the project, select the first one and hit Open. Okay. When that happens, you should see your project. Well, first off, you're going to get a window that pops up that there's something about missing versions. Okay? when you open the project, you'll see something about missing versions. At the bottom, you'll see the version we just installed. Click on that and then click OK. Okay, you'll see 2022.2.8. Yeah? We're going to get to that. Okay? So if you have a mismatching version, just select the version that we just installed. Okay? If you get any pop-up messages, read them. You want to click the one that says, yes, I want to continue, or yes, I want to, what's here? I want to continue at my own risk. Do that. You have a question? No? Good? Okay. Oh. Okay. Is everyone okay with this? You guys all have your projects going. You have it there. Is it open? Did you open it up? Yeah? Okay, good. If you haven't opened it yet, go ahead and open it. I'm sorry, I'm going to walk in. Okay, if you haven't opened up your project, go ahead and open it. Yeah, you're going to open it up. Good. Good. Looks like you guys are doing good. Okay. Wonderful. All right. If you guys got your projects open, that's the most important thing right now. Okay. Do we want to try this Meta headset stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So assuming you guys all have that, let's switch gears and get our headsets working. Okay. Let's all get our headsets working. So again, the one person with Unity open, that's going to be the headset person. This is where you're going to come into play here. Okay. What you need to do on your desktop is double-click on the Oculus icon. Okay? The Oculus icon. The Oculus icon looks like this. Sorry, I messed up your desktop.
I don't use it anymore.
Okay? So, again, let me repeat this. We're going to now get our headsets working right there. So, double-click on the Oculus icon. You will get asked to sign in. Okay, when you want to sign in, let's try these credentials one more time. I'm going to keep this full screen. Okay, let's use these credentials one more time and let's pray that it works. So we're going to see.
You have to help them out.
I know. Need a little clip on. Sure. You guys okay?
I'm just kind of getting everything logged in properly. Okay. I already grabbed my headset.
I'm just going to switch inputs.
Yeah, whoever's using the headset, let's go.
Okay. Wallace is continuing to help people with the installation, and we're going to start the Unity part very soon. Bear with us.
Okay, it was proven. This works. Okay, so let's try this again. All right. When you double click on it, you're going to get asked to sign in. At the bottom, it's going to say log in with email. Click on that, and a web browser is going to appear. Type in those credentials. Okay. If it works, you'll get a blue button that says continue as Georgian. Click on that. You might get a little pop-up at the top of your browser that says, I want to open up some kind of app. Let it do it. Open it. Okay? If all of that works, you will get put back into your Oculus app, and you're going to be able to continue from there. Okay? So far okay? That's okay? Okay? Yeah? Looks like everyone's okay. No one's complaining or yelling at me yet. All right? So, you're going to go through a wizard here. Okay? You're going to get to a point where you're going to get asked what device you're going to use. We're using Quest 2s. Okay? So you can go ahead and select that. Okay? You will also at some point get asked, how are you going to connect to your headset? Please use the black cable that is included. Okay? A black cable that is included. Okay? The 90-degree angle part goes on the headset. The straight part goes into your computer. It's all USB-C. You guys okay? Let's see, who's doing the headset? You guys okay? Oh, you guys need a headset. They need a headset too. You got one person to come and grab a headset? They're going to need a headset too.
I need one of you to come up and...
Yeah, just one. That's fine. Everyone, you guys are doing okay? Okay, let me see what you guys connect to your headset. Okay, let me have a look. Just give me a second. Okay. So, I'm gonna turn this off. I'm gonna turn it back on so that you can take care of it. But I want to walk you through what's going on. I want to start this again, just so you kind of learn how to do it. Okay, so it's powering on. I'll take it from there. Okay, I'm going to plug in. Okay, make sure you guys plug in your headset. Okay, make sure you guys are going to do that. What you may want to do, is when you plug your headset in for the first time into the computer, someone just wear it. Okay, someone just wear it. You want to put it on? I put it on. Okay, so can I make a suggestion? Guys, can I make a suggestion? One person who's manning the computer, stay on the computer. Someone next to them, put on the headset. Okay? Okay? Yep. Yes. So if it's going to ask you to allow anything, say yes. You got to grab the controller. Okay? There's two of them. Okay? So again, let me just repeat that. Someone has to wear the headset. While you're wearing the headset, if you get prompted to allow or accept, yes, accept everything. There's nothing you're declining or saying no to. Just say yes, 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 accept, accept. Take all my information. Facebook, yes, yes.
I don't want to belong to Mark Zuckerberg.
Okay? So,
It's the future you chose.
you are eventually, okay? Did you select allow? Sorry? Floor level. Okay. Okay, this is a good thing. Now, really quickly, okay? If you're wearing the headset, now it's asking you to define the floor. Okay? You take your controller, you point it down at the floor, and then click OK, because it needs to say where the floor is. Okay, where your floor is. So if it does ask you that, then that's fine. Otherwise, when you move on from there, you're going to have to define what's called a boundary. Okay? A boundary is the space that you work in. Now, you can do this a couple ways. Number one, you can physically define this boundary by going around in a circle, or you can select what's called stationary boundaries. Okay? That will also be fine for this. But again, I'll repeat what I just said in a moment, but I'm trying to get some people pulled. Is there anything that's appearing on your headset? No? Can you take it off? Let me try this again. Is it just the meta icon the whole time? Can you take it off?
That's the problem that is solved. Making it easier for all people.
If you guys set up this
Oh, yes. Yes. Yeah, I know that one.
because I showed my teammates basically an introduction to it. That's how I
Do you have the Oculus app on your phone?
It's okay, all of this.
Perfect. That'll help a lot.
I'm planning for 2 more YouTube streams for the game
Oh, okay, you're seeing stuff. That's good. This is it.
This is seeing things. You're crazy.
Maybe I should just have to set this up there. This strap across your head like this. You know?
Is there any other group that still needs a headset?
If I can borrow a cable, it means I don't have to run upstairs to grab mine.
I'll lend you one, just for now.
Perfect. I just forgot to shove it in my bag when I grabbed mine.
That's alright. Just for now, though.
Oh yeah, of course.
No? Okay, let's do this. I know it's right here. Can you plug that guy back in? Push it back. Push it nice and tight. Okay, yep, I heard something in my headset. So there, if you get an option that says continue or something like that. Okay. And are you We don't have that stuff. Because I just changed some firmware or not. You open it. And also, I can't make it Is this the bad computer display? Let's try that one.
So if you use the right thumbstick, it's gonna change the direction you're looking. Right? The right thumbstick, if you move it to the right, thumbstick it to the right and the left, yeah, it's gonna change your location. It's gonna change the way left's gonna move you around. And wherever you're looking, that's where the left is going. That's gonna tell us. It's because that thumbstick will tell us. And if you change the thumbstick on the right hand side, while you're putting it, move it towards you. That's what it takes. Go up and down, and the other way. And the other way.
Allow it. This one. That. This doesn't work. That's the connection. Just
May I have your attention, please? The college will be closing in 30 minutes. Please make efforts to wrap up your business and leave the college for the day. Thank you.
Are they kicking us in?
No. It's an all-night event for everybody. Are we almost ready, Wallace?
Your setup is complete. Okay. So you're going to get transported into a world.
So is it the first steps thing again?
Just getting them in like the Spanish Vista area.
May I have your attention, please? The college will be closing in 30 minutes.
Okay, how's it going over there?
Efforts to wrap up your business and leave the college for the day. Thank you.
Okay, good. All right, let me go through this. Okay, this is the one of the last steps. Everyone should be able to put on a headset and see like a fancy Spanish Vista. Kind of. Okay? What we want to do is we want to make sure that we can run our Unity projects on your headset. To do this, we have to do what's called enabling Quest Link. That's a setting inside of your headset. So whoever is wearing the headset right now, you guys got to listen to me. Okay?
They've already done it.
Have they? Well, some people have, some people haven't. Who have not done this, whoever's wearing the headset right now, listen to me. In front of you, you will see a control panel, probably. Okay? You may have to push a button on one of your controls to bring it up. Okay? You have to find settings. Now, settings can be a green button that is just right there, or you may need to click on the time and then go to the corner to click on settings. Regardless, open settings in your headset. Okay? Find the settings somewhere in your headset. Okay? Once you find settings in your headset, in the top left corner you'll see the option that says System. Click on that. Okay? So if you can't find the settings, open up the little thing that's in front of you, and you'll see a little area that has a time on it, right? You may see a little time option. No? May I? You're ready. So you don't need to listen. You don't need to listen to me. No. You were ahead of us. Okay. For those of you. Okay. After setting, you go to setup. Oh, sorry. You go to setting. You go to system. You see system in the top left corner. No. So go to,
I just thought
go to
it was
System,
running grab.
and then from System you'll see on the left side it says Quest Link. Quest Link. On the left side there's a menu. On the left side after you hit System. Yeah? Okay, and then when you get that, click enable, or sorry, launch Quest Link. Yes, launch it. Okay? You might get asked to enable stuff, accept stuff, whatever. Your view is going to change to a big white room. Okay? It's going to be a big white room. You got it? Okay. Hit play for him on Unity. Okay? You have your Unity project open. Give me 1 second and now play it. So your view might change a little bit. Just give it a moment.
I'll figure it out later.
The device setup is still in progress. Please take up and say, yeah, so continue. Okay, continue again. Where your setup is unique. Developers did their research. Now, can you open up your music license? Play. Try watching Netflix on. All right, is anyone not in Unity? Are you guys in Unity? Unity? Everyone's in the Unity project? Hey, good job. Okay. Tom, I think it's time for you to take over. Almost? Okay. Did you get another pick-me-up and I didn't?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
But only a regular one. All right. My voice is gone from today's session, so bear with me. We need to go into Unity now. So please take your headset off at this point. Because we want to talk about Unity and what it is. And how to use it and all that stuff. So again, let's talk about you a little bit. C#. Yeah, you. C#. Hands up. Who knows C#? How about these guys in the back where Joss is? You guys know C#? All right. How about the guys, the people way in the back? You guys know C#? Okay. Good. How about Unity? Who knows Unity? Right? This much. Okay, so Unity is a game engine. That's what it is. And we use C# for scripting. It's not programming like we do with Visual Studio exactly. It's scripting. And one thing to note, if you look at Unity here, right, you have a bunch of different windows. Yours might look like this, or it might look like this. No problem. It might look like this. Does your Unity look like this, or does a Unity look like this? If your Unity doesn't look like this, please go to the right, the top right, and check tall. Okay? And then, into your project area, go to the little slider and slide it to the left so it looks like a list. There we go. It's a list. Are you with me? Oh man, do I have to yell at you guys again? I'm going to have to yell again. Are you with me? How about this? Okay, good.
You're going to kill the
crap. Okay.
Yeah. Are you ready, kids?
That's right.
Hello, fellow children.
We are with you.
Awesome, thank you. So now that you know that you're with me, and I know you're with me, this window here is the editor. I can't talk over them.
Hey.
All right, the editor.
I'm going to try and talk for you.
I think you should do it, man.
I don't remember what you did, so.
Okay, I'll tell you what
All right, I'm going to show you guys just the layout of Unity, okay? Because his voice is done. All right, so looking at this, have a look. The big area on the left here is your scene view. This is where you make all the changes you want in Unity, okay? Now, we want to try and keep this as clean as possible. So this little window that's here, it's a pain in the ass, okay? It's an absolute pain in the ass. We want to get rid of it. The way we get rid of it is dock it up here, okay? Just drag and drop it. By the way, you can set this up however you want. You want the hierarchy window down in the bottom corner here? Go nuts. I don't care. We don't have to follow any sort of method if you don't want to, okay? Just know that always in the top left corner, you can always go back to different views, whatever you feel like, okay? And also, just for the record, if you set this up in a way that's totally different from anything you see, you can save it in the top right corner, but you can figure that part out, okay? This is our scene view. You'll also notice a tab up at the top that says game. This is what our game looks like, okay? This is our preview window, okay? Both of these, this is the two most important windows for us. It shows us what we can what we can do and what we can see through our camera, or what's going to be previewed for us, okay? On the right side, we're going to see a couple different windows here. Number one is the hierarchy. This hierarchy, think of this as anything that you see inside of your game is going to appear in this list, okay? Anything at all, right? So if you expand it, you're going to see there are a couple things that are already here. Camera rigs, interactables, environment, UI, it doesn't matter, okay? All of this is in the game world right now, okay? You mentioned this before. How many people here understand the concept of instantiation, right? You guys know programming. You have a new object, you create it, great. Everything you see in there is going to be instantiated the second we play this game. It's going to appear in that game, okay? There are ways to instantiate after the fact. Right now, we care about this being instantiated right away, okay? We'll come back to all the different objects that are there. Just below the project window, okay? This little project window right down here. There's two parts to this. Number one, here's your file folder structure, and on the right side are the files that are in the selected folder, okay? So, for instance, if I click on the assets, you're going to see these are all the folders. Now, this is also a pain in the butt. Look how big these folders are, okay? So there's a slider at the bottom here that's going to make this a little bit nicer for you, okay? Again, depends on your own personal preference. In our case, we're just going to keep it like that, okay? So, when you click on a folder here on the left side, what is inside of that folder will appear on the right side. So as you go through it, you will see different things. One thing to keep in mind, there are different types of objects in Unity. For instance, something like this that has a Unity logo on it is a scene, okay? When you go through this, you'll see scripts, and you'll see this thing with a little hash. This is C#. You'll see materials, you'll see different things. So the different logos correspond to different objects that you can work on, okay? Now, the thing on the right side here, this big box, is called the inspector. The inspector is your information panel, okay? If I select some random thing in my project or up in my hierarchy, it doesn't matter where it is. Let's go into my camera rigs and let's pick just some random thing. You'll see the right side gets populated with information, okay? That's what we care about. This is how we make things move in Unity, by modifying these values over time, okay? So what we want to do is we want to tap into some of those values, okay? But what the inspector is in this case is just what defines this object. Now, you've all probably heard of object-oriented programming, right? You have a class, you have functions, you have variables, you create an object, and that's it. This is different, okay? This is more ECS, Entity Component System, okay? What does this mean? This means that I have a shell, like an empty bottle, and I can put stuff into it. And depending on what I put into it defines this thing, okay? And so in this case, this input action manager is defined by two things: a transform and an input action manager script. Those are two things that are attached to this. Other objects, like, let's say, the game menu, has other things, has a canvas, has a bunch of other stuff. It doesn't matter. These are all kind of empty containers that we plug stuff into, okay? Among those things that we plug into it are scripts. That makes things changeable or interactable or whatever. The one common element, doesn't matter which object you select here, the one common element you'll see is a transform, okay? This is common in every single Unity object that is out there, okay? Represents three things: position, rotation, scale. Where you are, how you rotated, and how big you are, okay? You'll see 0, 0, 0 for all of them. Scale is 1. Think of that as a percentage. 1 is 100%. So when I put this object in, it's at 100% of its size. You want to make it smaller, 0.5, that's 50%. You want to make it double the size, 200%, or 2. Okay? That is what we want to do there. What do we want to do now?
Objects. Add an object.
Okay, so let's add an object to this. Okay? There are a couple of different ways that you can add an object to this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my hierarchy. Two ways I'm going to show you. Yes. Oh, you had a question? Yes. What's your question?
You said that all objects
Every object has a transform. You don't have to modify a transform. Okay, you'll see what I mean.
Adjusted.
Huh?
Adjusted.
I'm gonna keep going. Give me a second here.
good?
Yeah, I'm good. All right. The thing we're gonna do right now is we're gonna add an object to this scene. I'm gonna show you the two ways of doing this. Number one, if we're gonna add something to our scene, we have a hierarchy. Okay. In the hierarchy, there'll be two things. Number one, there'll be this little plus button in the top left corner. This is your create menu, and you can see there's a number of different things that we can create. You can get the exact same menu by just simply right-clicking on an open area and going down towards here. You'll get the exact same thing, okay? It's up to you. If you click on that button, you'll go down and we can add things. I want to add a 3D object, okay, to this scene. Now, these are what are called primitive objects, cubes, spheres, capsules. This is built into the engine. If you find 3D models online, okay, there are ways to add that as well, and we'll show you how to do that here. But I'm going to add the first object here, which is a cube. Okay, I'm going to click on it. Now, the second that happens, it gets added to my hierarchy. This means that if I play this, my cube will be created and it'll be in my game world. Okay? But a couple things are going on here. Number one, my cube is located somewhere underneath the floor, out of the way, kind of inconvenient for us. Okay? One thing you will also notice is the cube has a number of things in its inspector. Transform, of course, but other things that define what a cube actually is. Specifically, check out that position. It's at 0, 0, some nonsense. Okay? If you are ever stuck and you want to reset any one of those components, any one of them, there is this ellipsis tool, the 3 dots, okay, next to each component, transform, mesh, render, and whatnot. If you need to reset, just click on it, and there'll be an option here to reset, and this will reset the transform to the default values of 0, 0, 0, and that's it. That will usually solve some problems. Another thing, let's assume that you are lost and you want to look at this object. A very quick way to get an object in your field of view is by simply double-clicking on it in our hierarchy, so just like this. Okay? If you double-click on that object, it will focus in on that. Okay? Now, very quickly, I'm going to talk about controls in the editor, and then if you guys want to switch out, that's fine. So how do we move around in our scene? Okay, you can see we have this box. Okay, we want to move this box around. There are these handles. Okay, green is for the y-axis, red is for x, and blue is for z. Okay, if you're familiar with Unreal Y is up, or excuse me, Z is up. In Unity, Y is up. Okay, how do we move this around? You simply click and drag these handles around. Okay, one way, another way. Okay, if you lose your place, all of a sudden, uh-oh, where did my handles go? It's because you're not clicking on the cube anymore. Just click on it again, and you should be able to pick it right back up. Okay, now, what if I want to move around in this scene? What if I want to look at different objects? Well, first things first, grab your mouse wheel. Okay, have your mouse wheel inside of the scene editor and scroll out with your mouse wheel or zoom in with your mouse wheel. Okay, this will allow you to zoom in on different objects. Okay, again, if I get lost and I'm really, really, really far away and I can't see anything, I don't know what to do, find the object you want, double click on it, and we'll take you right back to it. Okay, secondly, if I right click in here, let me make this a little bit bigger so everyone can see. If I right click in here, you'll notice that I'm pivoting around a particular point. I'm basically looking around. If I stand still, I'm looking around like this. Okay, so you can do that. But while you're doing this, you'll notice the little icon is an eyeball with a WASD key. Any Counter-Strike, Valorant players in here? Well, just hold this right-click down and use WASD to navigate through your world. Okay? So again, hold down the right-click button and use WASD to navigate your world. Very quickly, if you want to go up and down, just kind of straight up and straight down, you can use the E key. So you can see here, I'm a little bit lost. Double-click on my cube. I'm back at it. Okay? If I use the E key, I'll go up. If I use the Q key, I'll go down. And then the WASD key to move around. Okay? So that's how you want to get around in your scene. Okay? If this is too fast, for instance, if this is moving too quickly like this, and it's really hard to keep up, while you are moving, while you're holding the right button down and moving, scroll down on the scroll wheel. Okay? This will slow down your speed to something a little bit more manageable. Okay? Something like that. Okay? So while you're moving around, scroll up and down to adjust your speed. Okay, what else do we want to do? Do you want to talk about interactables?
You want to do it, or you want to Josh to do it? Or you
It's up to you.
Someone's got to be on the headset.
You do the headset then. You're good. Hey, Joss, you want to take the interactables, and I'll put them for you.
Actually, while you're good on the headset.
Fine.
Joss. Interactables. He's on the headset. You're doing interactables. Go.
Here, this one.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to put this down because I'm going to screw up your mouse.
All right, we're just going to show them how to do those little triggers, right?
Yeah, so if you want, you can do the play scene.
Did you already go through opening a script with them?
No. You want to do that then?
Oh yeah, we should definitely do the basic script stuff.
Go for it. You're in control, my friend.
All right, folks. So actually, we're not going to do the interactables quite yet. I do want to show us some of the basics of how you make new things happen, how you write code in Unity. So, do we have ourselves familiar with the little project window down here? This is where our files are. So in here, there's a little scripts folder. Okay. If you want to make new functionality, new code, this is where you can right-click, create a C# script. Okay? And then you give it a name. My custom script. Sure. Now, this script, by default, when you create a new C# script, is going to be inherited from a class called MoniBehavior. If you're familiar with inheritance in C#, you know that it means it takes on some existing functionality. The existing functionality that it takes on is that of something which you can attach to a game object in the scene. So you already have transforms attached to the game objects. You already have rigid bodies in some of them. You have box colliders in some of them, things like that. Now, you can actually attach a My Custom Script component to your game objects. And we can write code in here. If you double-click that, that file over there, you can write code in here that's going to define what that component does. I already had it open. Let me just open it again. Okay, great. So there's a couple of functions declared here, or methods if you're familiar with C# and Java and whatever. Same thing. Start and update. These functions will be associated with specific parts of the operation of your program. Start, everything that is contained in here is an instruction which will happen at the beginning when you click play, and update is going to happen repeatedly, every frame. Let's say 60 frames per second. The first thing that we're going to do here is really just put in a new variable that we can play with. So I'm going to put in public float. Oops. Sorry, I'm not used to this keyboard. It's not my keyboard. Float. Woo. Float. My float. Okay. And if I save this, I should be able to go back into here, into Unity. Okay. And now on my cube, I can drag my custom script onto the cube over here, or I can drag it over into the inspector view while I have it selected. Either way, now it will appear in this inspector view that tells me about that information, right? Tells me about the transform, and now it also tells me about the My Custom Script which is attached to it. Okay? And you can play with the variable here. You can change this. You can drag it, you can change it to a number that you'd like. Okay, so this is the main way in Unity that you will create new functionality, that you'll interact with these things in the world. Let's say I want to make this thing move. Okay? If I want to make this thing move, one thing that I might want to do is modify its position. Its position is stored in this transform component over there, right? We've seen that. We've been able to play with it in here. If we want to change that in the code, we could do so through this other script. Another way you can go to the script is by clicking the little 3 dots here and click Edit Script, and it'll take you right there instead of having to find it through the project window over there. Okay? So now, if I want to make this thing move, I want to gain access to that transform component. There's a couple different ways to do this, but I'm going to show you the way that works for any type of component. Anything that is attached to that object, you can access it with this get component function. Get component. So this get component function has these little angle brackets. The little angle brackets here are where you're going to put a type. That is a type of component that you want to get. In this case, the type that I want to get is a transform component. So if I put that name in there, transform, then what that's going to do is that's going to get the first transform component that is attached to the game object that this custom script is attached to. Anything with this custom script attached to it on start, that means at the beginning, it will get whatever transform component is attached to it. If I want to save that variable, I might do something like transform equals, or maybe I'll name it my transform so it doesn't get confused with the other one, equals get component transform. Okay? If I want to modify that position, I can do so with this little dot operator, say my transform dot, and I can find out all the things that are part of it. So it has a position in it. Transform contains position, rotation, and whatnot. If I want to change a position, I can do position equals new vector 3. Who's familiar with a vector here? Like a mathematics vector. 3 components, x, y, z, right? Yeah. So this is where you can put in your new position. Put in a new position, and this is how you would do it through code if you wanted to set the position in your code instead of in the Unity editor. Let's set it to 190, 45, 67, whatever. You can pick whatever you'd like. Okay, if I save this, I'll just hit Control S. Now I go back into here. This is something which will occur now at runtime. So its position is the same old position that it was before, but if I run it, if I click play, now it'll be set to the one that I had written in the code. And who knows where that is. If I double click this while in the scene view, I can go to the scene view and then double click this, and then, oh yeah, there it is. It's very far away from everything else. Long way. Great. So I'll stop that. You can also use the variables that you've had in here, right? If I wanted, I could use my float. Okay, and it would set it to that position. Now I mentioned that this function update is repeating. If I take this line of code right here, this instruction which says set the position to that new 3-dimensional vector, if I take that and I put it here in this update, I'm just going to copy paste it. I'm just copy pasting it. Then if I take this and move it out here, well, actually I kind of don't need that anymore, but I'll just take this and move this out here, save that variable, so now this is going to hold a reference to my transform. There is a shortcut when it comes to these transform components. You can just do all lowercase transform, and then you won't need to do get component. But I just wanted to show you get component for other reasons, because this will get you anything you want. Not just transform components, this will get you yourself a box collider, right? This is where you could save yourself another reference to box collider over here, different things, all right? For now, I'm just gonna stick to this simple line right here. We're setting this position with the lowercase transform because this is a saved reference that's always there. You always have access to this one. This just refers to whatever transforms on that object, and I'm going to set it to this my float position. All right. Let's see. I think I didn't save it. Hold on a second. Control S. No, Control S. There, that's what I wanted. So now that it has this this code which happens on update, you can see it change live as you change the variable. Check this out. As I'm changing this one variable, it's moving. If I go in the scene view and go watch this cube, okay, I just double click on the cube and watch it. Now if I change this, my own custom variable is now affecting the position in the game according to the code that was written. And then you could write other code that modifies things in other ways at runtime. Great. So another thing that you're probably going to want to make is modify the look of things. Could we? Yeah, thank you. We already have a setup of an example of that happening using our VR interactions. We have all of this camera rig and VR interactable set up already. So this is an empty object, and there's kind of a hierarchy. You can put things as child objects in the hierarchy. So all of these refer to objects over here.
Let me put this down so it doesn't
Cool.
Because it's going to affect your mouse. If I need
Oh, yeah. Okay, so these interactables are set up already with a few different components. Mesh renderer is to draw the thing. Rigid body is to give it physics. So anything with a rigid body in it is going to fall with gravity, is going to have a mass, is going to have rotational inertia, all of those things which are laws of physics that don't necessarily exist unless you specifically write in those rules. Unity has a physics system which will simulate anything with a rigid body on it. You can play with the properties over here too. So this, let me grab the cube over here. All right, so this cube over here has a rigid body. It has box collider. This box collider is what?
Oh, the college is closed. That's
No way.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Well, speaking of tutorials going to shit.
Hold on. We can...
That's funny.
So is it going to force off all of the
No.
the question?
I hope not.
It might be set up to just, refresh the computers, because it's Friday night.
Yeah.
What if it goes into a system update, guys?
May I have your attention,
Hold on.
please? The college is now closed.
Yeah, that's
Please
it.
exit the college promptly. Thank you.
So yeah, watch Windows 11, none of the VR words.
much closer.
Yeah. It just keeps throwing it on this. Are you able to interact still?
Please exit the college promptly. Thank you.
This is brilliant.
So, but you're still able to edit.
Yeah, meanwhile, like, real quick, we'll have this pause. Does anyone need
May
help?
I have your
Show of hands,
attention,
put your
please?
hand up
The
if you
college
have
is
like
now
a
closed.
or something.
Please exit the college promptly. Thank you.
Or pop-up windows.
Well, let's see how many we can get. Yeah. Before the night ends, we'll have maybe 15, 16.
May
Have a
I have
competition.
your attention, please? The college is now closed. Please exit the college promptly.
All right. I hope I can speak without her doing that again. Okay, so we have some scripts on here. XR grab interactable is some of the code which is already put on here, which you're going to put on anything that you want to be able to pick up. You also need to have a collider to be able to have it, touch other objects, and to be able to reach out and grab it. So this XR interactable, there's a bunch of settings in here. One of the main ones here is events. So these events are set up such that on certain points, when hovering over it, there's like a little mouse cursor. I'd like to be able to show you, but it's kind of hard to do both at the same time. If you put on your headset and run this, I'd like you to be able to try it. Everyone with this headset on, are you able to run it? See if you can run it. So just everybody with the headset, try putting it on, and then just click this run button, and see if it works for you. If it doesn't work for you, then we can get people in to come help you. No, that's cool. I was just getting interrupted by the lady anyway.
Good to go.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if they're even able to try it out. It would be nice if they could try it out and then modify it at the same time.
Are you guys able to do that?
I'm guessing many of them can. So click the run button. The little play button on the top. Oh, there you go. Okay.
I think a lot of people.
So for those of you who are in, thank you.
Yeah.
For those of you who are in, you'll find that you can use a kind of array to highlight objects, and you can press, I believe, the grip buttons. Yeah.
You can if you play it. I can.
Yeah. Okay. I'll play it, and you can just show. Oh, compiler errors, eh? Hey, where's Connor?
I think he went to go to the washroom or something. Oh no, he's sitting in there.
What? Oh, he's helping someone else. Okay.
So very quickly, I'll show you guys your interactions here. How to use your controller. So you can see there are these two light beams, rays, whatever you want to call them, coming out of your controller. This allows you to point at objects from a distance. Okay. Now you will notice a few things. When you point to an object, it will change different colors. You'll also get a little rumble in your controller. What you can also do, let's focus on the right here. Okay, with the right, you have some buttons. Currently, the buttons aren't doing anything. Even when you hover over something, they're not doing anything. They are programmable. You can do stuff with them, but right now, for this demo, there's nothing. If I move my joystick left or right, I am going to do these turns. Okay, these are fixed turns. Okay, you can also have continuous turns depending on what you want to do. Okay. So, if you keep moving the right joystick to the right or to the left, you're going to have these fixed rotations, okay? Now, how do you grab something? By pointing to it down here and grabbing it with your trigger. So the trigger's in the back here where your middle finger is located, not your index finger, your middle finger in the back. You point at something and you hold it and you will grab it. You can hold it and grab it and move it around, okay? You can do that. If you do the top button, nothing will happen, okay? Your left hand here, your joystick is for you to move left and right, forward and backwards, okay? In some cases, you'll have objects that require you to be a little bit closer. Maybe you can do it from further away. It all depends on what you're playing, okay? You also can pick up objects with the same trigger on both sides. So if you want, you can pick up two objects with both your hands at the same time and go on from there, okay? I think that's pretty much it.
All right. So I'm just gonna go over the events now.
Yeah.
So when he's hovering over or reaching over to grab an object, they change color. How do they change color? Let's have a look just at that.
Yeah, for the meta, it's computer studies at Georgian College.
So this cube right here, one of the pieces is these interactable events. These will call functions when you hover over it, put your hand over it, or point at it with the laser pointer. Okay. This is on hover entered and on hover exited. So that's when you start pointing at it and when you're no longer pointing at it, or when you start putting your hand close to it and when you're no longer close to it. Okay? This is where that material is being changed. You can find that there's some things already set up in here. One is there's a script here that says interactable outline dot on hover enter. There's a outline component which is on this cube in particular. It's down here at the bottom, and it's a reference has been dragged in there, and it's calling that function. Okay, another thing you might be able to do, just for fun, you might be able to add your own changes. Okay, the changes to material is happening over here, where it's changing it from the mesh renderer material to hovered material. Actually, let me modify that one. I don't need to click plus. I can just change this one. I'm going to make it so that now when I hover over this material, hover over this cube, it's going to change the material from whatever this is to something else. If I want to make a new material, I can right-click, create material. Material is going to define color and other properties related to rendering an object, all combined into one. If I want to make a new material, I'm just gonna leave it as is because we can't actually see it yet. This new material, I'm just leaving it as is. I just made right-clicked and had new material, and then let me say put new material in here. Okay. Then when you hover over, what it's going to do is it's going to go into this instant cube. It's going to go into mesh renderer dot material, and we've given it a new argument or a parameter to pass into this existing property to change it, and that's going to happen specifically on hover entered. You can also put in other functions if you want. Well, we can try this one. So now if we play, the moment we hover over it, it should change to look like our new material, whatever that is. Okay, so now it's changed to be bright white instead of greenish. And if I want, even I can change this material, even while he's playing it, I can change this material. So this is one of the fun bits. I can change this as he's playing around. Alright, and this determines what that object looks like. Specifically what it looks like when he's hovered over, because there's another event on hover exit which actually changes the material back to interactable standard, which just looks like this over here. Okay, interactable hovered is the greenish one, interactable standard is this grayish one. Great. So materials and mesh renders are what you're going to mostly use to create your environments for people to interact in. A lot of your applications probably are going to involve making something like that. Okay. Thank you. Where are we? Interactable cube. Note that if you want to add new events or remove existing events, you can press this plus and minus. Other things that I could do, which are gonna, be varying degrees of useful, is I can call other functionality. If I drag in cube, I can do new things. In my custom script, I could call enabled. I could set enabled true or false. Game object. I could set set active true or false. So these are actually calling functions. These are functions. Set active is a function that is declared for game objects, and it takes one parameter, a boolean, true or false, It could be true, it could be false. If it's false, it means it's actually going to disappear. You're not going to be able to see it anymore. You may want to have some interactions like that, some events like that. Yeah, let's do it. So set active false. When you hover over it, it's going to disappear, and you're not going to be able to touch it anymore. Oh, sorry. It didn't actually do that just now, did it? It just did, but we weren't able to see it.
Yeah, I'm out of the game.
Yeah, hold on a second.
Okay.
I'll do it out of here, so it'll be saved.
I'm gonna try not to move, so you can move your mouse.
Yeah. That other cube is kind of hard to find, so I might actually just make it. I'll make it disappear the object that we're actually hovering over. That'll be easier to see.
Okay, I'm gonna leave this up.
So this interactable cube itself, I'm gonna put a reference to itself in here. Now when you hover over it, it's gonna make itself disappear. It doesn't want to be seen. So game object, set active, false. So now if we run it and he hovers over it, okay. Woo!
Gone.
Perfect. Magic. Okay. So all of these things, keep in mind, folks. If you like code, you should be able to click into these and read into them. Even could be fun. There is documentation on Unity XR systems that you can look at, but I know that many of you may enjoy just diving in and reading some of the stuff. Some of them may be more legible than others. There's a lot of text here, which actually can be quite helpful.
I'm going to show them the other project.
What else? Yeah, the other project. Let's go ahead.
Okay. Very quickly, just to finish this off, I want to show you the second project, because the second project's going to give you a bunch of other things to look at. So when you guys opened up your projects here, I'm not going to save this, back in Unity Hub, there was another project. Again, when you went to open and you linked to this location here, Unity Hub projects, okay, there was a second project there. Actually, maybe if you can give them a link to the GitHub page through Discord, you know, the XR.
It's there already.
Okay. Okay, so if it's there, then perfect. Oops, I opened this up by accident. Let's open up the other one just really quickly, because the other one is a little bit more like detailed, let's just say, and it's going to give you a lot of different options to look at.
Maybe overcomplicated.
It is a little overcomplicated, but too much information for a hackathon. I don't know if that exists. But basically what it's going to do, it's going to talk about what Joss talked about, Tom talked about earlier on, plus a little bit more about the capabilities. Talks about things like 2D UI, which we actually didn't talk about now. That's okay. We talked about 3D UI, but let's just get right into this. So here, this is what the other project looks like. Now, you might not see this, okay? I want to show you guys very quickly why. In your project, you're going to see these folders, okay? I'm going to pull this down here. I'm sorry, I'm going to break Tom's heart, just to make it a little bit more easy to look at, okay? You're going to see probably not what's up there. Instead, what you want to look for in your assets folder are what are called Unity scenes. Unity scenes are kind of locations that you can explore, if you will. Think of these kind of traditionally in 2D games, these are individual screens. Like you had a main menu screen, and then you went to another screen, and then another one. It was broken down into these little pieces. In this case here, you want to look for Unity scenes. In this case, look for it under XRI examples, and then scenes. Okay, so XRI examples, scenes. In here, you're going to see a number of scenes. Scenes have the Unity logo beside them, so you'll know you can identify it that way. There are a total of 6 scenes in total, plus this XRI example main. That's what's open right here. That's this one here. If you're ever wondering what scene is open, look at the hierarchy right up at the top there. It shows you the name of the scene that is currently open. Okay, these individual scenes here, if I open one up, just to show you really quickly, they show you an experience, okay? They show you one specific thing, whereas the main scene right here shows you everything all together, and you can hop around between different stations. So if I run this, and let's see if I can now dock this away, make it big. Okay. I'll have to allow USB debugging now. Okay, here we go. So here, this is going to show you a couple other things. So this in front of us, this is, I guess they want to classify it as 3D UI. Okay, 3D UI meaning something that you can interact with more tangibly. This has a name called diegetic, where this UI is located inside of your main game. So this right here is just a simple slider value where I use the trigger to move back and forth. These guys here, these are actual push buttons that you have to push like this and like this to get it to work, okay? One thing you will note here is, I know I'm pretty close. One thing you will note here, when I move, I get this little black circle, okay? This is called a vignette. This is apparently comfort mode. They called it wrong because it actually should be called discomfort mode, so I'm going to take that off. You can fly if you want a couple different settings all around. Now, if you want to traverse around here, you can use the left joystick if you want, or take your right joystick point up, and you're going to create this little arch that's going to allow you to teleport around. So you can see the number 2 there. I'm going to go boop, and all of a sudden I am here. And I'm going to turn with my left joystick around. You can read this. This is, again, talking about interactable. This is, what was this here? This is our instantaneous, the pyramids. This is something that you use if you want to track really quick movements, okay? But not great for collisions because it's going really, really quickly and you do something. That one was fine, but this one, kinematic, a little bit better for collisions, okay? Especially when you're doing somewhat physicsy things, but if you're going to do something with high fidelity physics, you want this cube. This cube you can see follows around like this. And it looks a little bit more natural compared to some of the other movements that you get from here. You sometimes will get different things. Ooh. Oh, I almost crashed. Okay, number 3 over here. Just really quickly. What is this? Okay, so this one here. Notice that when I hover over it from a distance, it's light blue. This means that when I interact with it, it's going to hover in front of me. But if I go close, it changes colors, and this is going to snap to a particular location. Tom had an example in his project there. There are things that you can play with on the side. Number 4, this one has, these are socket interactables. This one you're probably not going to use, but one thing I will mention here from a design point of view, if it looks like it should be able to do something, then you should let it do it, okay? Sometimes called affordance. Going across here, number 5, okay? This is our 2D, okay? You can see there's some 2D stuff over there if you want to actually explore this. So things like UI panels, navs, different kinds of panels, input fields, types, checkboxes, how they implemented this. There's a nice little game over there. Okay, number 6 over here. This is again your 3D UIs. We've seen this before down at the panel over there. In this case here, things like a wheel that you can click on, things like the knobs that you can twist. Okay, there's the push buttons. This one's also a push button right here where you just go like that. Okay. And then number 7 down here, what is this guy? Okay, physics interactables can be grabbed and manipulated using the collider. Okay, so this has to do with something like springs. So if I grab this, you'll see the other one gets dangled, okay? And if I grab this other one and pull it apart and let go of one, we will get the spring action, okay? So you do have this sort of spring action between 2 objects that you can look into. Again, what you want to do here, I'll show you what I mean when we're going to do this, and this has like a sliding interaction, or I guess a joint, okay? What I do want to show you guys really, really quickly, and then we're done, is if you guys want to see how these work in your scene, look in the hierarchy, okay? You will see they are labeled. So if I'm interested in doing some UI, I can look at the 2D UI here, and again, I don't know where this is located. Well, you know what? I can double click on it, and it's going to take me approximately to where it needs to be, okay? And then from there, I can look at specific components. It's all labeled. If you want to do a loading bar, if you want to do some sort of panel, just select it and check out what's going on. Maybe you're going to have to dig in a little bit deeper. Maybe they have children that you have to look at as well, okay? But that's how you want to navigate this. You want to find something in here or find something in Tom's demo and say, you know what, I want something similar to this, okay? Let's figure out how they did it, and let's dig into the hierarchy. Maybe let's open up a script or two and let's understand the C# code behind it, okay? So again, this demo, the other demo, both great to hopefully get you guys started on what you're going to be building. Anything to add? Okay, I hope that is enough. Thank you, Joss. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, everybody, for paying attention here. Go find a nice quiet spot. Maybe brainstorm an idea or two. You have how much time left? You have lots of hours left, by definition. Lots of hours. Huh? 15?
Oh, until
till 4 p.m.
Till 4 p.m. tomorrow. Okay? So you guys have lots of time to do this. So go upstairs, get some food. All right?
Water is what we need.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. Quick reminder here, if this is a bit overwhelming, this is only one part of your pitch at the end. Okay? You do have to give some kind of demo, but you also have to pitch a great idea. That's absolutely part of your presentation at the end. Okay? And you will be given pitch workshops as well tomorrow. Okay? There's only 40 minutes left of today. So, thank you. Sorry for the technical difficulties, but I hope we got enough information to you.
They're always there.
They're always there. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Folks, I'm going to post
Thank
to
you.
Discord the Unity documentation page. If you haven't already had a visit to it, Unity has actually excellent documentation.
Yes, they do.
I mean, as a programmer,